The illegal walkout by social services workers is now into its second day, and it has already begun to turn ugly. Near anarchy has been erupting in at least one youth center here in Edmonton, and the province is accusing striking counsellors of encouraging the youths to be disruptive. We begin our coverage tonight with a report from Wendy Taberge.
It appears emotionally and behaviorally disturbed teenagers at the Yellowhead Youth Center are out of control.
In the last 24 hours or so, we've had one staff member threatened with a knife, another staff member threatened with a baseball bat and a crutch. A staff member was removed from here earlier this morning with an injury to her ankle. We have received confirmation from children and from other professionals, and we are more than satisfied that some staff members were actively coaching some of the children prior to the walkout to make life as difficult as possible for the staff coming in, to be as obnoxious as possible, to be as uncooperative as possible, to be as disruptive as possible, and I can certainly guarantee that they have lived up to those instructions.
Since social workers and counselors launched an illegal strike yesterday, 4 management staff have been assaulted and at least 2 children have been sent to hospital. 25 managers are trying to fill in for the striking social workers and child care counselors, but it's not working. Some of the center's buildings have been vandalized. At least 16 of the children have disappeared, and virtually none of the kids were in school today. From the picket line, counselors are doing what they can.
Go to school, get focused on your education again, go back, have lunch, and just try and do your best, okay? Can you try that today? Okay? Because we're on your side. Do you know that? We're on your side. Okay, I just want you to relax, okay?
We spent weeks and months working with these kids on their treatment goals, on their treatment plans, collectively as a group of counselors, so that their needs can be met, so that their problems can be worked out. And in a matter of 24 hours, that's all gone downhill.
Why don't you give us decent wage and a decent, reduce our workload?
Social Services Minister John Oldring toured the center early this afternoon. The minister is calling in extra security, but doesn't believe the children are in any immediate danger. Jim Boyd, a counselor at the center, disagrees.
Many of them are in danger of harming themselves, abusing drugs and alcohol, prostituting themselves. The kinds of kids that we look after really need a lot of care.
My heart feels empty. I'm full of pain. I get very emotional. I have to stand here to fight for a cause I believe in, and my kids are in there and they're scared and they're hurt, and I want to do what I can to help them, but what I'm doing now is going to help them better in the long run, I feel.
Wendy Taberge, ITV News.
On another front, Social Services Minister John Oldring wants disciplinary action brought against the union, but the strikers say they will defy any back-to-work order. John Loveland reports.
Despite the violence at the Yellowhead Youth Center and other operating problems, the Labour Minister remains unwilling to force the province's 2,100 social workers back to work.
Well, it is a question of how many people are at risk and can we look after them. We've said that we will try to maintain emergency services, and you just read that as it goes along.
Social Services Minister John Oldring toured the youth facility rocked by mayhem during the 2-day strike. The minister is recommending disciplinary action be taken tomorrow.
I'm recommending that we take some substantive steps, and I'm satisfied that Cabinet will address them appropriately.
The striking social workers remain undaunted, saying they plan on defying any back-to-work order to back their demands for lower caseloads and wage parity with other government employees.
If need be, if it comes down to, we will go all the way. I can't speak for every member, but like I said, on the line here, people have spoke, yeah, we have come this far. We want to show Mr. Oldring that, yeah, we want a contract, we want it now.
If it's a question of breaking this law over here or this law over here, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, and I think a majority of social workers, we'd rather break the one that will get the clients better service in the end.
The end may come tomorrow if the province orders the social workers, psychologists, and child care counselors back to work. It's then up to the strikers and the union executive whether they want to break another, more serious law. John Loveland, ITV News.
The New Democrats blame the government for the strike, saying outdated labor laws force the social workers to walk off the job. Susan Smitten has that story.
do we want? Contract! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Contract! When do we want it? Now!
These social workers haven't had the right to strike legally since 1977. The labor laws were changed then so that people in jobs deemed to be essential could not withdraw their services as a negotiating tactic.
Member for Edmonton Kingsway.
In the legislature, a band of striking social workers watched as the New Democrats attacked the government for stripping away bargaining power.
Doesn't the Premier realize, even he should realize, that these regressive laws are a joke and that the workers feel that they have no choice but to go to the streets at this particular time?
The Premier turned the arguments back on the opposition, accusing the members of supporting social workers who break the law.
What kind of member of the Legislative Assembly, where laws are made, democratically, could somehow be in a position of saying we will only have certain laws we feel should be obeyed? And I tell him, Mr. Speaker, that brings no credit to a member of this Assembly.
It brings no credit to this government that we have the worst labor laws in North America, Mr. Speaker. And I want to ask him again to do the honorable thing and stop making criminals out of social workers and repeal this regressive law and get back to the bargaining table.
The government is making criminals out of social workers? What nonsense is that?
Don Getty maintains the current system works 99% of the time, but says there will be no negotiation with people who break the law. Susan Smitten, ITV News.